Hello, my name is Curtis Head. I'm the inventor of a game called Triathlon. It's a run-based card game, and the objective is to complete 3 different stages: Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3. In Stage 1, you want to get all your cards into a numeric run. They can be a mixture of colors and suit. For Stage 2, you want it to be in a numeric run again, but you want them to be either all the same color or all the same suit. And in Stage 3, they have to be all the same color and the same suit while being in a numeric run. So I'm going to teach you a little bit about what makes the game unique. First off, every player is dealt 5 cards, and then each player is dealt 1 card face up. That face up card becomes the location of that player's discard pile. Now, the game is played in rounds, and whenever somebody has completed one of the stages they haven't completed yet, they can call an into the round. But they don't have to. They can keep the round going in the hopes of completing a more difficult stage. So we'll just take a really quick look at what I have here. So you'll notice that I have my cards. I put them in order, and I have the 3 red cards and 2 yellow cards. And let's see, a runner. We have a cycler, a runner, a cycler pro card. A pro card can be any number, but it can't change its color or its suit. Now, I can select any one of the cards from any of the discard piles, or I can take the card from the center of the deck. The one exception here is I cannot select the injury card. The injury card is something that you play on somebody else's discard pile, causes them to lose a turn, and it breezes them out of the game until they can remove the injury card from their discard pile. Now for me, if I'm trying to go after Stage 1, all I need to do is basically get a 5 or a 3, and I can move the pro card over there, and I'd complete Stage 1. I have 3 red cards, 1, 2, and a pro, and if I look down here, I could select the 3 runner, which would give me 1, 2, 3. I could make that into actually a 5, and then if I discarded this, I would have enough for Stage 1, and I could call an into the round. So I would put that down, say the round's over. I would get credit for completing Stage 1, and anybody else who has a hand that completes one of the stages they haven't completed yet would get credit for their hand, except the person with the injury card on top of their discard pile. You're out of the running. You don't get credit for your hand. Now the thing is, I am really close to getting Stage 2, so I want to keep the round going. Next player has an injury card, so all they can do on their turn is to take the injury card and flip it over. Let's take a look at the next player's cards. Okay, they have a bunch of yellow. All they need is a yellow 2, and they would have completed Stage 2. So if they got a yellow 2, they're look at that. There's a yellow 2 right there. So if they pick that up and discard that card, they could call an into a round, and they probably would. They get credit for completing Stage 2. I would get credit for completing Stage 1. And then we can take a look at this person's hand, and they don't have anything, so they wouldn't get credit. Let's take a look at this person's hand. They are so close, they're just missing 1 to get credit for Stage 1, but they don't get credit either. That's the basic way the game plays. So again, you have your own discard piles, and when it's your turn, you can select from one of those discard piles, or you can take the center card off the deck. The thing you need to learn about is if you have, like this player, has an injury card. So now when it's their turn, they would select a card, add it to the deck. None of those cards really help, but if they want, they can play an injury card on top of somebody else's card. Injury cards are nice to play on somebody if they're ahead in the game. They have like maybe 2 of the stages completed, so you start playing injury cards on them. They also come in handy to keep the card underneath it active. So when you play that injury card, it means that when the turn goes around and they remove the injury card, now that card's available to you. So if you needed that card, sometimes it's good to play an injury card on somebody. Other cards you need to know about is there are Super Pro cards. They are wild in both their color and their number, but they can't change their suit. And there's also Adrenaline Rush cards. And what Adrenaline Rush cards do is when somebody plays or discards a card that you want, play the Adrenaline Rush card, say, I'll take that, you get it, flip it over. Adrenaline Rush card is not a turn, so you don't get to end the round, but it comes in handy, especially if somebody discards and you need 2 cards that are down. You say, I'll take that, so you take the card you need, and then when it comes to your turn, you can pick up the other card that you need. So there's a lot of options to this particular run-based card game that I think you're going to enjoy. Thanks.